Now, before I begin actually dictating, there are a few settings I probably want to go ahead and make sure are correct in here. So if you look under here, you'll see under Tools, there is a option called Formatting. And you can format a bunch of numbers and times and dates and units and abbreviations and things like that. At the very bottom it says automatically add commas and periods. If this is unchecked, the doctor who will have to actually say the word comma, period, colon, etc. Now most of them are used to doing this because when they transcribe and somebody else types it in, they have to do that anyway. But if they want to give that a shot, they can check that and they won't have to say comma, period, etc. The other place you want to go into is Tools and Options, and there are a bunch of tabs in here, so you'll want to look through a bunch of these choices and see what options are available. But a couple of them I want to mention is hotkeys. To turn the microphone on or off, currently I'm using the plus sign on the number key pad. Well, I have a laptop, so I don't have a number keypad. So if I hit this button, I can push a button. I want a key I want to turn the microphone on and off, and I'll hit F2. Now you want to make sure you don't use a key that's being used in another application. For example, F1 usually pulls open help. Control Z, Control X, Control C, and Control V all have very special functions. Undo, copy, cut, copy, and paste. So I wouldn't want to use those, but I'm going to use F2 for that one. And I could do that for other ones of these, but for right now I'm just going to leave it as it is. And looking through these different tabs, you can see the different options of what they do. Okay. Now I'm ready to start dictating. You'll notice up here I have a red microphone laying on its side. This button can be in one of three states: a red microphone, a yellow microphone, or a green microphone. Red microphone means that the microphone is not listening to it. The Dragon is not listening to anything I'm saying right now. If it were yellow, Dragon would be listening to what I was saying, but it would not be dictating. It's waiting for me to tell it I'm ready to dictate. And the green microphone means everything I say automatically gets transcribed. So the first I need something to transcribe into, and I don't have any medical software handy, so I'm just going to click on here and I'm going to open up what's called the Dragon Pad. I could easily do this in Notepad, which that's all Dragon Pad is, just a version of Notepad. There's Dragon Pad. You could use Word, you could do it in email, and you can do it in any electronic medical software where you can type in free text. You can't really use it to fill in forms very easily, but it is handy for free text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this button. I could hit F2, but I'm going to click on this button. It's going to wake up the computer, and everything I say is then going to be dictated into here, because that's where my cursor is. So I'm going to read from a transcription sample report, and we'll see how it goes. The patient has undergone treadmill stress testing on November 12, 2010 here in the clinic, and he exercised for 6 minutes, achieving a heart rate of 117 beats per minute, blood pressure 166 systolic, and had chest pains and 0.5 millimeter of ST segment change. It was felt that this was his stable status. Period. Go to sleep. And notice that my microphone is now yellow. It is still listening to what I say, but it's not going to transcribe until it hears a command that tells it it needs to start listening again. And you can say either wake up or you can say begin listening. Now the reason why when I said those now it didn't turn on was because I said it very quickly after some other words before it. So if you were trying to say, for example, one of the commands is wake up. Well, if I'm trying to say that somebody has a problem when they wake up, if every time I said those two words, it would turn on the microphone, I would never be able to get those two words in the system. So it expects a pause before you issue a command. Wake up. New paragraph. The patient has nitroglycerin requiring angina about twice weekly. He is diabetic, hypertensive, hyperlipidemic, and continues to smoke. He also has chronic renal failure. Period. Go to sleep. Scratch that. Period. Go to sleep. Now I had to put the last period in there because when you pause, you're thinking, well, you should have put a period in there. But you know that when you're talking, sometimes you pause mid-sentence as you think about what you're going to say. We don't want to start putting periods all over the place. So, looking through this, and I actually haven't looked at this yet. The patient has undergone treadmill trust testing here at the clinic. He exercised for 6 minutes, achieving a heart rate of 100 beats per minute. Blood pressure 160 systolic in the head. And had chest pain and 0.55 milligram of ST segment change. Felt that this was a stable status. It's supposed to be his stable status, not a stable status. So I'm going to correct that. And this is one way you could do it. Wake up. Scratch that. No, period. Select this was a. Go to sleep. Notice that it popped open a box, and I have a bunch of options here. I could take my mouse and choose this one, or I could actually tell it these words. Wake up. Choose one. Go to sleep. Patient's nitroglycerin requiring about twice weekly. He is a diabetic, hypertensive, hyperlipidemic. He continues to smoke. Petty little difference here, but it's supposed to be hyperlipidemic, comma, he continues to smoke. We'll fix it. Wake up. Select period, he continues. Go to sleep. Notice that here I don't have any choice that I want. I want comma and he continues. So I'm going to just say it. Wake up. Comma and he continues. Go to sleep. Now I'm going to go to the end and I'm going to say something that I know it's not going to recognize. Wake up. Go to the end. New paragraph. He is being referred to Dr. Kolenko. Select Blanco. Spell that. K-O-K-O-L-A-N-K-O. Oops. Strike that. Scratch that. Scratch that. L-A-N-K-O. Go to sleep. I misspelled. I wasn't thinking about how to spell it correctly. So this would be a doctor's name. I can choose something down here if that's what I actually want. What I'm going to do is teach it that word because I'm going to be using that name a lot. So first I want to capitalize the first letter. Wake up. Wake up. Capitalize that. Yeah. Go to sleep. It does that sometimes. Let's try it again. Wake up. Spell that. Capital K-O-L-A-N-K-O. Strike that. Kolenko. Go to sleep. Let me explain what I did there. I went ahead and manually typed it in because I knew I was going to get no joy from trying to say it. Sometimes you just have to type it. But then I hit the train button and I actually said the word that I expected to see. So now next time it should put that in correctly. Wake up. Period. New paragraph. I expect Dr. Kolenko will want to run several more tests on the patient. Period. Go to sleep. Notice that time it actually did spell the name correctly. So that is the basics of how you can dictate into a patient's chart.